Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Muhammad Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Checka Cee. Checka is a thought leader, mommypreneur, instructor, and podcaster. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Checka Cee. Checka, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Siddique. I really appreciate being on with you today, a fellow Atlanta native, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Oh, that's so much. That's a loaded question, Siddique. It really is. But like I always tell my clients and people I work with, the story is so important, right? What is your story? Who are you? So I'm originally from New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl, and I always start with that because it's hands down who I am, right? Italian and Puerto Rican breaded. But I've worked in broadcast radio and also television, a little bit of television at the end of my career for over 10 years. And within that process, I had the beautiful ability to work in the community and give back in the community. And I loved that part of the job, working to really touch people and do what they needed help wise. In that process, I had interns. I also taught people in broadcasting, and in that process, I also worked at a nonprofit organization where I helped kids and youth, and so all of that encompassed, like, really became who I was. And who I am now, regaining a snapback to create my hustle, my brand, and a healthy mindset, right? And the person to help other women and other people now get their snapback and become healthy and healthy habits and hustle and brand themselves. So ultimately, I just had a really strong passion for helping others through my internships and through teaching. And so I created my own business to do that as a thought leader and as an instructor and as a person with a digital marketing background and broadcasting background. Why not? You know?
Yeah, what a wonderful concept. Why only mommypreneur? Why? What's wrong with the guys?
No offense. But here's the deal. Because it's who I can relate to,
Yeah.
I double down on my audience, Siddique. It's who my audience is. It's who I am. It's what I do right now. I have a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old, and it's what I know best, running a business and also raising babies at the same time.
Yeah, wonderful. So, what are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
Top 3 mistakes to avoid, I would say, is thinking that work is everything, right? Like when you think that your work and your title defines who you are ultimately as a person, you are wrong, right? There's so much more to us as human beings on this earth. So I think, just putting work at the forefront is not always the best idea. Thinking that coworkers are friends is not a good idea, right? And are more than friends. Although I will say that throughout my radio and television career, I really, really made some great friendships and sisterhoods. But I mean, like, while you're in that space, like, overthinking that, oh, you're my family and we could do everything. No, those two things are kind of separated, right? So, and then the third mistake for me was probably not starting my business early enough, right? Like sooner. Like, had I known what I known about like investments and stocks and all that good stuff around business and 401ks when I was 19 or 20, then I would have started sooner. Maybe even sooner, because we've got kids that are starting at like 15 years old now.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
So in radio for years, I took a position as a morning show host, and I really wasn't interested in it anymore, right? So like, I think for me, the greatest failure is when you do something for somebody else and not for yourself, essentially, right? So like, I took the position in thinking, oh my God, this is what I want to do. This is what I've always wanted to do for a really long time. But then when I took it, I wasn't happy and I didn't like it anymore. And my goals were no longer the same, right? Like, I wasn't that girl when I was like 15 to 20 years old wanting to be this personality on the radio anymore. So I think like the failure was the fact that I allowed people to maneuver me into this position, and kind of, and maybe not allow people, so to speak, but like just kind of thinking that that was the same goal I had. I learned that we don't have the same goals, right? Like when we become 30, 40, 50, they start to change, and your goals start to evolve, and those things become different, right? And so I think I learned just tweaking that and like really creating my own sense of who I wanted to be, and not really allowing people to kind of deter that by saying, oh, this is where you should be. You should take this. You should do this. And honestly, the other failure and mistake was taking it at a price that I wasn't happy with, like a salary that I wasn't comfortable with is the other part of it. So
How did you recover from it?
I recovered from it by getting my snapback. I just simply moved on. I try to create healthy mindset all the time, and just be, find myself with who I want to be and what I want to do, and serve the people who I want to serve. So that's what I did. I created my business, and my business, frankly, was already created while I was on the air years ago. I just wasn't pouring into it the way I should have been. So just pouring into the proper areas, right? Pouring into those right cups. And so I bounced back by just filling those cups, the right cups.
Yeah, yeah. So, what are your top three success secrets the others can model from?
My top 3 success secrets are being super duper persistent. Okay. That's one thing I've been for years, maybe not consistent, but I have been super persistent. Okay, so you want something, you need something, you want to go get it, you need to go get it, you better go get it. Be persistent, period. That is just it for me. It's always been, AKA the reason why they call me a hustler, right? Like, oh my God, you're such a hustler. I'm just super persistent in what I want, period. Being a student for me has always helped. Right. So like I've always kind of been able to dim the light a little bit and humble myself down in order to learn the processes. Like just creating my course recently. It's a brand new course. It's only been out for a year. Right. But like I had to learn those things. I had to learn the digital strategy, the drip campaign. I had to like really bring it, dial back a little bit and be a student, really and truly. And I'm always wanting to be a student and learn more and more and more. So that's just it for me. Also, the third one is just being optimistic about everything. Like I had a failure. Okay, cool. How are we going to turn that failure into something positive, into something impactful, into something that is going to, help me, my family, and also change lives. Right. So.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So you're welcome to add a bonus tip if you like to, as success secrets, because when it comes to success secrets, you are giving with your permission, and we are greedy when it comes to knowledge. So
yes, that's right. Greedy when it comes to knowledge.
Yeah. So go for it. One more bonus tip.
Another one?
Yeah, success secret. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I can't say consistency because I have not really, but I'll just say that the other thing is like really, really branding yourself and knowing your story, right? So like that for me has been it, like shaping that story and being able to tell it, right? Like you have a book, New Success Secrets. How are you bringing that all together and sharing that story? I think being vulnerable, Siddique, is one of the things. It's being vulnerable enough to share your story. So that for me is probably the other top secret. And I just talked about it in a recent virtual tour I did for the Snapback Journey Tour. It's like, what are you doing to be vulnerable and share that secret, that story that you have with everybody?
Wonderful. We are about to get into a lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. What are you grateful for today?
I'm so grateful for the lessons I've learned, but also for my family and my support system, without a doubt.
How young are you?
Okay, so I stopped remembering, and really and truly, I'm not lying, Siddique, I really stopped remembering my age when I turned 39 years ago.
Wow, that's a magic formula. However, you are not 39. Okay, I did the quick math now. You are 18 years old with 21 years experience.
Yeah, exactly.
What you want to do when you grow up?
What do I want to do when I grow up? I want to continue to help other women get their snapback and build legacy for their family, and I want to build a legacy for my family too.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
I react just like a human being, and I get over it the next day. I just don't hold grudges.
However, Checka, one day is too long. I just want to let you know.
Oh, was it?
How do you start your day?
How do I start my day? By waking up next to my beautiful accomplishments, my little babies.
What's the advice you will give to your younger yourself?
The advice is do not allow anybody to dim your light. Period.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
It doesn't take a lot, really, because he's always on board with what I do. He just kind of will, chop some things down and cut some things up for me. But he's pretty much always on board. I just put it on the table.
What's the impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Oh, so years ago, I read Seth Godin's Poke the Box. And I learned basically how to create my own lane or my own box when I couldn't fit into anybody else's box. And this is actually the book cover right here.
Wonderful. Why being impactful is important to you?
I think that every morning when people wake up, you have a choice whether you want to be impactful or not, whether you want to do something on this earth or whether you want to waste time on this earth. And I certainly don't want to waste time on the earth. So,
who is your mentor and what's the impact?
I've worked with a lot of different people that I can actually tap into at all senses of my life and every part and at every time or whenever I want. But I would probably say that right now, because my husband is always there, that he's probably that one person.
What do you want to be remembered for?
What do I want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered for that person that helps other people get to where they want to be and grow and be successful and, just leave an impact in the world, and always somebody that put their family first above all.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client? My ideal client is a mommypreneur who's looking to get her snapback.
How can we support you?
You can support me. There's always great opportunity to partner up and do big things. So, we could support each other by posting each other's links, showing each other love, so the possibilities are endless for me.
Wonderful. We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have a few words about your guest experience on the show. Here's the question. What would you say about your guest experience on the show?
It's been great. It's been good to meet you. I love this platform you got going on. I've learned a little bit too from you. And it's been awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your kind words. What would you say as a final word?
I would like to say, I just saw this really great quote by Albert Einstein. Try not to become a woman of success, but rather a woman of value. And that's it.
Yeah, be a person of value. Thank you so much, Checka, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you.